I'm oral historian Mike Chappell. Today, June 15th, 2013, I'm interviewing Dr. Leonard Wartofksy for the Endocrine Society at its annual meeting being held this year at the Moscone Center in San Francisco.
I think you're alluding to the evolution and treatment for thyroid cancer that I can recall in the early days at Walter Reed. Basically, in retrospect, we didn't really know what we were doing. The treatment was surgical, and we knew that thyroid cancer could take up radioactive iodine as a function of thyroid cells that take up iodine. So the treatment was surgery and relatively high-dose radioiodine. And in those early days, we didn't fully appreciate the side effects of radioiodine, and we did damage to patients. And often the surgery was either overly aggressive or inadequate, because that was not well understood. And when the tumors did not take up radioiodine, we had really no other option other than perhaps external beam radiation. So it was a rather short management, a list of management options. And there's been just so much, really an explosion of research in the last 15 years that has led to greater understanding of thyroid cancer, that has enabled the surgery is better, is more selective. There's large-scale studies of what should be done or what should not be done surgically. For the radioactive applications, we're now moving more away from radioactive iodine in many cases and reserving it for special selected patients. And we have other therapies, new chemotherapies that were not available. Years ago, in the early days, the only thing available, chemotherapy, were the standard chemotherapies for other cancers that are very, very toxic. And now we have targeted molecular therapies that are designed specifically for a genetic mutation within the tumor. And we still have a long way to go, but just multiple other approaches, interventional local approaches like radiofrequency ablation or ethanol injection, just a whole host of studies. The development of recombinant human TSH for diagnosis and treatment. It's been a remarkable 10 years, and I think now we're entering a phase of even more accelerated development of information that I recall when I told Dr. Carl Moore that I had decided not to do oncology and do liver, and why, because I was disheartened by the cancer patients. He said, "I'm certain that we'll have a cure for leukemia in 10 years. And we didn't, and he died a little bit after that 10-year interval. And that recollection just went through my mind, because I was about to say, I think we'll have some real cures for thyroid cancer in 10 years. So I caught myself thinking about Dr. Moore. So these are exciting times in thyroid cancer. I think the pace of discovery being accelerated so much that we're going to make remarkable advances, particularly at the molecular level. And there are several outstanding laboratories in this country and abroad that are making contributions. And I think I wish that could be true for all cancers, but thyroid cancer, I think, is going to be conquered in the not too distant future. I won't say 5 years or 10 years, but